Welcome and thank you for taking the time to watch this short clip. We're building a YouTube channel, so if you would take the time to subscribe or share or like this, it will be such a help to us. Thank you so much. Let's jump in with the parable of the lost sheep in Luke 15. When we study a parable, it's always key to ask ourselves, what is the context? Who's he speaking to? What is the message? And we pick that up, verse 1. All the tax collectors and sinners drew near to hear him. And first of all, that's a wonderful scene and setting, isn't it? The sinners, the tax collectors, there was something about Jesus they knew that they could draw near. They wouldn't be condemned or judged, but they would be loved and find forgiveness there. We don't read that they drew near to hear the teachers of the law or the Pharisees. Verse 2, and the Pharisees and the scribes that were there complained, saying, "This man receives sinners and eats with them." And the idea of receiving there is to welcome or to accommodate or to associate, to allow them to come, because the Pharisees would certainly not associate with the sinners. They would be wanting to be set apart from them. So this was their accusation. This man receives sinners. And verse 3, therefore he spoke this parable to them. So there's the context. The reason he's telling this parable is to address this attitude or misconception in the heart of the Pharisees that he would receive sinners. And he tells this parable, in fact a threefold parable of the lost sheep, the lost coin and the lost son, to basically say, yes, God receives sinners. But much more than that, God seeks sinners, and when he finds them, he rejoices. So it's not like God is begrudgingly accepting sinners or receiving sinners. Oh, but Jesus would say, this is why I came. In Luke 19:10, the Son of Man came to seek and to save that which was lost. I came to seek sinners, to save sinners, to find them and rejoice when I find them. So he says, verse 4, what man of you having 100 sheep, if he loses one of them, does not leave the 99 in the wilderness and go after the one that is lost until he finds it? And remember, this is conveying the very heart of God, which is so wonderful for us to consider, that God's heart is to seek and to find those that are lost. Verse 9, and when he has found it, he lays it on his shoulders, rejoicing. Again, not only just receiving sinners, but seeking and finding and rejoicing when he does so. And verse 6, when he comes home, he calls together his friends and neighbors, saying, rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep which was lost. And here is a subtle rebuke to the Pharisees that were there that weren't able to rejoice at these sinners and tax collectors that were hearing grace, finding forgiveness. Now, lastly, he connects the parable to reality in verse 7. I say to you that likewise, or in the same way, there will be more joy in heaven over one sinner who repents than over the 99 people who need no repentance. And he's basically saying to the Pharisees, this is the problem. You don't recognize your need for repentance or forgiveness. But these sinners who are gathered recognize their need for grace, and therefore they find it, and I rejoice when they do. Thanks for joining us today. Please subscribe. Thank you, and God bless you.